So buckle up, yeah, buckle up, because we've got a ride and we're not off of this ride, and we're going to keep going because we're in the final stages of the transformation of planet Earth. And by the way, that could be thousands of years, but you're a part of that. How do I help you? I'm going to tell you in this video how you can go through all of this in a completely different reality. You have full control over that. And that's the whole point. Are you ready to do this? Because I want to help you. I guide my students every day past fear, and you can go into that space too. It's possible. It exists. Let's do it right now. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. I almost forgot that. Here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. People call me an influencer. I'm going to use it in the best possible way. Perhaps I can influence you today to go into a space that you choose that feels really good. Yes, despite what's going on out there. None of this is a surprise. As I shared with you months ago, for quite some time in many, many videos, before even we had our health challenges, that we were going to hit every area of our society, humanities, let's just say, issues, because the boomerang effect is that everything that we have not mastered and come here to master continues to come back, just like reincarnation. You come back. Why do you come back? To master that which you didn't in your last experience. We get so hung up on reincarnation because we think that we are this. And so when you realize you're just the energy field, reincarnation doesn't even really exist. It's just the transformation into endless, endless expressions of one energy field. You and I are just that one energy field. We're one mind. Now let's talk about that mind. Now, if you're familiar with my website, landriaonkka.com, come on down. If you haven't signed up for Manifest Anything, these videos are going to change, but regardless, you're going to get a series of some trainings that's free down here. You can click down in the description, sign up, because it takes a village to transform and deprogram ourselves from that which we have lived in for centuries, and that is fear. Why are we in fear? Because we think we're this human being, we think it ends, and we think we have to protect it, and that's the ego. The ego strikes out to control. That's what you're seeing going on right now on the globe right now, to control. You are not behaving in the way I think you should, so I am personally going to impose things on you, and hopefully I have enough people with me to help do that. Same thing with our health. We would never become ill had we respected our planet. All right? If everything was in check and there was a balance, we can't know all the reasons why all this started, but we do know one thing. When we are in a high awakened state, I call it the miracle space. Come on over and join my miracle membership. We go into that space where there's just light and love. Illness cannot exist in that space, and that's what miracles are. People heal. Why? Because the things that create the illness in the first place no longer exist. They dissolve. It's a choice, okay? It's a choice. Why? Because everything's an illusion. Only unconditional love is real. Only love is real, right? And so what do we do with the rest of it? We experience the contrast of everything we can possibly be, from the darkness to the light. How do I help you to go through all of these changes, these boomerangs that are coming back? Our finances has never worked. We should never be on a roller coaster of financial wealth and then losing it. That shouldn't even exist. There's no reason for that. There's abundance for everyone. That too has to dissolve. So it hasn't worked. That's why it's come back again. Our response to everything is what is going to change what happens on this planet, including anything that has to do with conflict. All right, so let's talk about, we have health, we have finances, we have conflict between, countries, and all these things that go on out there that have been a part of our history, the entire planet. The subject matter changes, but the response has been the same. And that is to continually chase more money, chase the dream, chase the outside material world, take things to heal me instead of healing myself, right? Wanting other people to be different, non-acceptance, separation. Our response will change all this, but I'm going to share with you today how you can personally change things. Now, people have asked me, are we in 4D and 5D? I'm like, I don't know, are you? Because it is an individual choice, because there are limitless probabilities, dimensions, frequencies. There's no line, it just flows. You never stop going higher or even lower. It never ends. No matter how awakened you are, you go into a lightened state. It continues on from there. So what do we want to do? As human beings on a dense planet where we've picked up all this energy, we came here. We inherited all this energy in the holographic illusion, the game that we chose to play, and we're playing it out. So you don't get out of that. You chose to do this. Play it out. What we have to pay attention to is our feelings. If I am feeling bad, negative, the first thing that I can do is consider the source of those feelings. What is the source? Well, most people would say the source is them doing that, or, you know, battle or illness, or, you know, or my finances or my boss. Most people will say that. And that's why the planet is in trouble, because most people believe that the outside world controls them, and they continue to try and manipulate it, control it, and they're unhappy when they can't do that, and you can never change anything in the egotistical frame of mind that continually battles, changes, happy, sad, according to the outside world. How do we go into that state of not just peace, but acceptance of what's happening, so it's no longer a problem? If the source is, I'm not taking care of myself physically, because you are a physical body here, that's part of your energy field, right? It isn't who you are, but it's an energy field that you inhabit here. You know, let's take a look at that. Do I need to clean up my environment, my habits, whatever? Second thing is, what am I exposing my energy field to? Is it negativity? That's going to frighten me. You know, almost everything is misinformation out there anyways. So what few facts that you get are being controlled, and especially right now, all of this is going to be controlled, including myself. Have you noticed? You know, it's really funny. We call ourselves competitors. We're not. Our, let's just say, my colleagues out there on other channels, we actually know what each other's doing. We see what we're putting out, what material we're putting out, because obviously we want to put our finger on the pulse of what our viewers want. So I'll see, you know, what's a popular subject here? Oh, I'll give that to my community. I'm seeing nothing going on about what's being said about what's really going on out there. Why? We are being scrutinized right now. I don't know if you guys know that. Even we are being scrutinized. Everyone is having to be careful. Why? Because if you lose your voice completely, then no one will hear you. So all I can do for you right now is not to give my opinion on what's going on, because I don't have all the facts. None of us does. All I know is our response to whatever's going on out there has to be different than it has been in the past. We have got to move from fear and go into personal change. And that is, if I'm feeling bad, the other thing is, next thing, what's the story I'm telling myself about that? We're always saying in here, this shouldn't be happening, that's wrong, I'm on a planet where everybody's bad and doing bad things, but that's not really the case. It's a part of the learning experience people came here to do. So therefore, the boomerang effect of the events that are coming back again is, the question is, why does it happen in the first place? What are we doing that's allowing these things to happen in the first place? Especially illness, no one should ever be ill, right? We can be perfectly healthy and heal ourselves. We have that capability. And the second thing is what's our response, our reaction to that, right? We're creating it. So if people have said to me, Why aren't aliens stepping in to help us, extraterrestrials? Why aren't ETs stepping in to help us? Because they would interfere with the destiny and fate that we're choosing. We have the power to do it. They could, of course, they have more technology and other things they can do, but they would interfere with the very thing we signed up for to master. Does this make sense? So if you want to master, forgiveness or unconditional love no matter what is going on out there, if they were to step in and end all of the conflict and lessons, you'd never get to master that. They cannot interfere with free will. And so they would love for us to find our way into awakening. But we have to do it ourselves. That's the whole purpose of playing the game. Nobody can get the gold medal for you. Hey, I'll run once in a while, but hey, you step in and during the games and get the gold for me. But it wouldn't be your medal. That's how it works. It's really pretty simple, isn't it? So no one can step in, not even the higher powers of the unseen energy field. Some of you do see them. The higher energy fields that protect us and guide us, we have guides, they're always with us, cannot interfere. Now, when you go into awakened state and you completely let go, and then you request assistance, not to fix something. See, a lot of people are like, why isn't it happening? Because I feel bad, I'm struggling, and you need to correct it. They won't do that. They'll step in when you say, you know what? I'm ready. I'll accept yes. Bring the correct person, the right person for me, the right job, the right pathway, the answer, and I'm fine with that. I accept that. I'm not going to battle anything else that's happening, and that's the letting go. All right? When you let go, you stop having to know why things are the way they are, because no matter what you think, it's not going to be correct, because there are endless other opinions and thoughts about that. It'll be correct for you. You're always right for you. What I think is always right for me. And that's the reality I live in. So if you want to switch your reality, you have to switch your thinking. You have to switch your beliefs. You have to stop being in conflict and struggling against everything and go into total acceptance. This is a really tough one. It's tough to accept pain out there. It's tough to accept abuse. That's not what I'm telling you to do, is say it's okay. I'm telling you to accept the choices of other people and be the catalyst for the positive change. Somebody said, what if somebody kicks a dog? I said, well, you don't accept that they're doing it and that's their choice. You accept that and you remove the dog, because your choice is to remove the dog from the situation. So you participate in the change. You accept that they have made that choice. And you also know that it's an opportunity for you to be the catalyst for positive change. You remove the dog. So I'm never telling you, I told you this is the year of action. You never stand back and say, oh, I accept this. I know it's their journey and, I won't interfere. Yes, you can interfere. And interference just means you're entangled with the situation so that you, too, can learn from it. That you are powerful, that you can affect change, and that, I said zero tolerance. Somebody said, it seems very negative to say that. I said, you must not have watched the video, because the video is very positive. Zero tolerance is love. Zero tolerance is, I love you and I accept you and you have unconditional love for me and no judgment. My zero tolerance is what I allow in my own energy field. That's me. It's not zero tolerance of you, the person. It's zero tolerance of the actions and the things that happen in the material world that I will not allow. So I will remove the dog. Right? I won't allow animals to be tested on. I will remove my use. I will eliminate my use of anything that tests on animals. I put them out of business. You wield unbelievable control. Okay, so what's happening over in, around the globe? What do? Well, we have a lot of power. Okay, guess what? What's in your bar? What alcohol's in your bar? Where's it coming from? Right? You can cut things off in the material world that is not spiteful or hurtful, but sends a message that we don't condone or accept certain things. And there's nothing wrong with that. Same thing with your health. What are you doing that's putting a patch on something that must be healed from within here. So we have to start going in here. What's that story I'm telling myself? If it's creating fear, then I must be listening to it, creating the story in my head. I don't have faith, and I don't find purpose in anything. Now, if you want to come over and take Breakthrough Fear, I have 2 courses now. One's a master class. I just revamped it. It's called Move Past Fear. And if you're going to manifest anything, I help you understand that you really wield this power and that you must break through the fears and understand breaking through doesn't mean eliminating. And Move Past Fear is a master class. Why do I start with Move Past Fear? We move past it. Breakthrough Fear is an extensive course where you break through your own barriers. You have to understand them, so we dig a lot deeper in there. Come on over and take either of those classes. You'll discover things in yourself, because these thoughts that show up that feel really bad, sometimes they're just being generated through patterns and things that you've picked up in energy fields. You can just as easily pick up on positive ones. But you have to shift over. You personally get to shift. So a lot of you tell me you're empaths. I'm feeling horrible. I'm like, well, guess what? You have a choice of what you tune into. So if you're feeling horrible, what are you believing and thinking about that? That the world is a shitty place. Oops, I probably have to bleep that. And so what are you going to do about it? Will you see the beauty in it? Will you be the catalyst for positive change? Will you be the person that steps in and delivers meals to those who don't have food, or helps people that are, in dire situations, or whatever it is you have to do? You guys start businesses. You guys start a business. Start a business that's spiritually conscious. I have new courses coming out personally. Spiritually conscious business. And if you don't know that, I actually have another YouTube channel that I just launched. It's spiritually conscious businesses. And I will not work with anybody who is using things like plastic to make money at the expense of the planet. We have to make responsible decisions, and you can change the entire energy field of the planet just with your small decisions, because they're huge. They're actually huge decisions. These are free videos, by the way. This is the training I got 7 years ago. I left the investment banking world. I had a very prestigious job. Didn't love it. It's not my world. I didn't want to live in that world, so I shifted my reality. And this is how you shift your reality. If you don't want to live in that world that hurts and it's hurtful and painful, and you're struggling with it, then you have to accept that you made those choices and you can make different ones now. And that means you come over here and you find the purpose in the nasty boss. It's not about that shouldn't be happening. It's about, hey, what are you going to do here? Can you make that person your friend? So many of you have written me when I've helped you with this and said, I went in, I was nice, I brought them coffee, I listened to them, I didn't go into conflict, they gave me the extra work, I took it, and all of a sudden, the demeanor of that person changed because they are no longer in fear. You're not a threat anymore. They don't have to use their control, their, anger. And so all of a sudden, there was a person over here who wasn't in conflict with them anymore. And this is a very difficult thing for most of us to do because the ego doesn't like that. You feel used or abused or whatever. So you should never, of course, put up with abuse. But you have to ask yourself how that happens in the first place. And what can I learn from this? And how do I walk away? And how can I see the pain in that other person who's inflicting this? And how can I help change that situation so that it doesn't happen again to anybody else? Please subscribe to my channel and share this positive information that we do hold the power. And there's nothing going on right now that cannot be changed. And there's a new earth that exists for everyone. You can live in it right now. The new earth isn't the denial of all the things going on out there. It's understanding the beauty of it and how we can transform it. And through going into awakening, you do transform it. And others will experience that love and that peace that you're placing in, and it will continue to become entangled and snowball until eventually the whole planet will raise its frequency. This is how it works. Don't you think for a minute you aren't extremely important. We're all equal little grains of sand, and when one moves, all of them shift. You shift the entire planet with one thought. What are those thoughts? Please meditate for our peace on our planet, because this isn't the end. There's more to come, and it's going to challenge us in the most positive way so that we can end it, so that the cycle never has to come back. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.